Man, the story has it, cannot live by bread alone. You've all heard that expression before. Man cannot live by bread alone. But if you slap a hot dog down on top of that bread, or maybe a hamburger, or maybe some brisket, or a chicken breast, or best of all, a pile of bacon, the odds for survival seem to look a little brighter, don't they? Man cannot live by bread alone, but bread and bacon, that'll get you somewhere. I've been researching the food of Arizona, and specifically the food of everywhere, for a very long time. I wrote a book about 10 years ago on food, 30 food plants and where they came from, and this is an outgrowth of that. I'm writing a history of the food of the Southwest right now for Trinity University Press. You can go to Bar Harbor, Maine. You can go to Cold Harbor, Washington. You can go to International Falls, Minnesota. You can go just about anywhere and you will find a place where you can get a taco. It's embraced in every part of the country, and when you ask people there, they'll say, oh yes, we've been eating this all our lives. It's part of our local cuisine. And moreover, because it is all American, it is also all global. This map shows you the chain of supply that brings the parts of the taco to you from every corner of the world, from every continent except Antarctica. And if people started eating penguin tacos, maybe even there. Don't know. What interests me is what happens when we look inside our refrigerator. You open your refrigerator door and you see that there is food from all over the world there. Our networks of food come from just everywhere, and I don't think we realize it. I don't think we realize how complex our trade networks are and our history that's all bound up in that, you know, how we got all the things that we got. Who gave us mustard and dill, and who gave us hoisin sauce and sriracha. So in the instance of the taco, the foundation, the basis of that thing is corn, historically. And I don't want to sound like too much of a hippie, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that is, by some sort of cosmic intuition, we might say, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 years ago, the chronology's a little messed up, people all around the world at about the same time got the notion in their heads that they could make food out of the grass that was growing outside their door. In East Asia, that grass was rice. In Eurasia, the area around what is now Iraq and Turkey, it was millet and wheat, einkorn, those kinds of grains. And in Mesoamerica, it was corn. And all three of these grasses provided the basis for an agricultural civilization that flourished and blossomed. You think about the things that grew out of East Asia, out of Eurasia, and out of Mesoamerica, all of them courtesy of the grass that was growing outside that door. And all three of those grasses became staples around the world, food staples that everybody ate far from their original homelands. This is my home state of Virginia. And there's a cornfield as far as the eye can see, right along the banks of the James River. Animals domesticated out on the plains of Eurasia about 10,000 years ago, those cows. They brought with them chickens, which are native to South and Southeast Asia, and they were first domesticated about 5,000 years ago and introduced to the ancient Mediterranean about 2,500 years ago. So the Romans knew them and the Spanish would have known these chickens. And they brought these guys in particular. The pig, puerco te quiero, pig I love you, puerco te quiero. I've lived in Tucson for nearly 40 years now, and in the time I've lived in southern Arizona, I've explored just about every corner of it, although they keep building roads faster than I can drive them. And in that time, I've written a book about the Gila River. I've written about places in New Mexico. I've written about the deserts generally of the world. And these hot places are always home for me, and I'm interested in everything that happens in them and everybody who's wandering around in them, like me, looking for something good to eat. And that's the point of my talk, is how we got to eat the things that we do out here, and what makes our food different from the food of, say, Minneapolis or Portland or Ottawa. What is it that makes people come here to search out things like Sonora hot dogs, or the tacos that we eat. How did those foods spread out so that they've become Americanized? You can actually go to Ottawa now and find a good taco, but not a good Sonoran hot dog.